Hello, friends. Imagine this, January 3rd, 2026, 2 a.m. Inside a darkened room in Florida, illuminated only by glowing screens, sits the most powerful man in the world, the President of the United States. He isn't watching a movie. He's watching a live military operation unfold thousands of miles away. The target? Caracas, Venezuela. The objective? Capture the sitting president of a sovereign nation. Now, pause for a moment. What would it actually take for the United States to kidnap a foreign president from his own home? Tonight, we're breaking down how such an operation would unfold and what it would mean for the world order. Phase 1. Intelligence. No operation like this happens overnight. Months earlier, intelligence agencies would begin tracking everything: travel patterns, security rotations, building layouts, communication systems, power grid vulnerabilities. A source inside the government would likely provide real-time location data. This is how modern covert operations begin, quietly, invisibly. Phase 2. The trigger. Diplomatic pressure would come first. Ultimatums, negotiations, generous offers. If the target refuses, escalation begins. Military rehearsals would take place on full-scale replicas of the compound. Cyber units would prepare to disable infrastructure. Air assets would be positioned quietly in surrounding regions. Everything waiting for one word: go. Phase 3. The operation. Power grid disabled. Radar systems neutralized. Electronic warfare blinds air defenses. Helicopters fly at extremely low altitude to avoid detection. Special forces fast rope onto the roof. 3 minutes to entry, 5 minutes to secure, extraction within 10. This would be one of the boldest military operations in modern history. But here's the real question: would it be legal? International law. Under Article 2, subsection 4 of the United Nations Charter, countries cannot use force against another sovereign nation. Under the U.S. Constitution, Congress must authorize war. So how would this be justified? The likely argument? Law enforcement operation, narco-terrorism charges, national security. But if 150 aircraft are involved, if airstrikes occur, if infrastructure is destroyed, at what point does law enforcement become war? The oil question. Venezuela holds the largest proven oil reserves in the world, over 300 billion barrels. Heavy crude, strategic reserves, geopolitical leverage. Oil has shaped global politics for over a century. When energy security and national security overlap, history shows tensions rise. Is it about democracy, drugs, human rights, or energy dominance? That debate would dominate headlines worldwide. Global reaction. If America did this, China would take notes, Russia would take notes, regional powers would take notes. Because once one superpower redraws the rules, others may follow. And that is how international order begins to fracture. The bigger question: whether a foreign leader is corrupt or authoritarian is one debate. But removing a sitting president through military force, that changes the rules for everyone. Because if the most powerful country can do it, who's next? Final thought. Power reshapes law. Strength tests boundaries. History remembers both. The real question isn't whether such an operation is possible. It's whether the world could survive the precedent. If you enjoyed this deep geopolitical breakdown, subscribe to the channel, because the world is changing, and we break it down without distraction.